Greetings and salutations, and this is a special video because this one's going up with the Subnautica video. So this is going to be a double video day because again, Friday evening I'm going to be recording like 3 or 4 or more of Modern Warfare 4 because that's going to be eating up all my time tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and then probably at the end of next week. But I'll probably upload like 2 or 3 videos a day of the Modern Warfare, maybe 2 a day of the Modern Warfare 4 just to give everything I feel like. But this is the cards that are coming out in the set. Mind you, this is the class sets. And of course, with the class sets, you notice they did Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. So of those, none of them are Death Knight. So I'd like to call that having the IQ of a houseplant, or unable to read the room. Blizzard's done this multiple times, but they've already released all the cards. They're not out yet, but they've shown what they are. They've revealed them, not released them. They revealed them. So let's get into it. With Priest, we're going to start with Wraith Van Geist. Battlecry resurrect your minions that were reborn this game. They attack random enemy minions. You can already see where this is going. Quest Priest. Play it on 5, because you can rush to get the quest done by 5. Play it on 5, Wraith Van Geist on 7, Umbra on 8, laugh at your opponent as they're dead. This is going to create an aggro priest set, within reason. Slime 'em. Destroy all minions. Each player gets a 3-cost spell that resummons theirs. So, you can also, it's a shadow spell, so, and you take a look at this one, it's also a shadow spell. So right there, between this one and this one, you're already halfway done with your quest. And you can always prep Soothsayer on 3, which makes Soothsayer a 3-mana card. And then you play Soothsayer on 4, play this on 5, play this on 6. But it's a 4-mana board clear. Yeah, both players get a card. You could potentially play this and play the Rat Burglar. Play this, play Rat Burglar, okay? Rat Burglar gives you your opponent's ectoplasm as well. Snatch it. So then you can get both boards for 6 mana the next turn. Just a thought. But this is also, you could play this and resummon your Solitos. Summon Solitos on 5, slime them on 6, resummon them on 8, or 7. Or you wait until turn 7. You summon Solitos on 6, wait until turn 7, slime them, resummon them. So now you have 4 Solitoses, and then of course you play Wraith Van Geist, and oh look, you have 4 Solitoses again. Sinful Steed. This card is going to get nerfed. People don't see it. As you can see here, look at it. They rate it 3.5 stars. This is how I know people have no clue what they're doing with. Right? Reborn. This is Reborn with full health and enchantments. What spell currently exists in Priest that can be prepared and gives it +5/+5 in lifesteal? So it comes back with full health and enchantments. So you get rid of a 7/8 lifesteal for 3 to be fighting against a 7/8 lifesteal for 3. Oh, wait. There's more. Lingering Spirit, Reborn, Death Rattle, restore 3 health to your hero, excess healing, damages a random enemy, no big deal. I don't think that's going to get played as much as most people, because again, it has no taunt. There's a card in here that will give them taunt, but you'll see what I'm saying. Follow the Ghosts. Summon a 2/1 Ghost with Reborn, give a playable card in your hand, this effect for a turn. And it gives you a Spooky Ghost. You don't really care about this other than it's a 2-mana spell. I mean, you could play Resuscitate as well. So you play Follow the Ghosts, you get your Resuscitate. But if Resuscitate does a 2, 3, and a 4, you could see Lingering Spirit making a comeback. Maybe you'll see Sinful Steed making a comeback. There might be an aggressive Priest deck here with Resuscitate in the mix. That is, if Resuscitate is still in Standard, which I'm not 100% certain it is. However, Follow the Ghosts, yeah, you can. It's an okay spell. It also satiates the quest requirement because it's a shadow spell. Whoops. Haunt. Give a minion 2/3 reborn and taunt. So, remember that Sinful Steed we were talking about? Remember the fact that the Sinful Steed could become a 3 mana 7/8? Because you could prepare hold off on, or hold them off on, what, turn 3? Makes it a 1 mana. On turn 4, you drop Sinful Steed with hold them off. It's a 7/8 lifesteal with reborn. Oh, wait. You can play that on 4, or you can wait a turn. They're not really going to swing into the Sinful Steed. At least they shouldn't. And then on turn 5, you drop this gem and hold them off. So now it's a reborn taunt, even if they kill it. Let's say you play Sinful Steed and they kill it with 1 attack, right? And they just leave the reborn copy up there that doesn't have reborn anymore. Boom. Now, here's the fun part. Remember that golem that gains reborn at the end of every turn? Yeah, that might see some play. But you give a reborn and taunt on top of the steed, which already has reborn and taunt, and it comes back with full enchantments. Sinful Steed, 3 mana. Reborn with all full health and enchantments. That's an enchantment. Gives it meat, reborn, and taunt, which means when it reborns, it's going to reborn with reborn and taunt because reborn's the enchantment. Yeah. So now you'll have an eternal lifesteal taunt minion that needs to be silenced by the librarian or by cease to exist. But Blizzard's they're not figuring this in. They're not paying attention. Oh boy. Spectre Specialist, Battlecry, give a friendly minion reborn. If it already has reborn, summon a copy of it. So now your Sinful Steed now becomes 2 Sinful Steeds. Brilliant. Matthias Shaw, Stealth. Whenever a friendly stealth minion attacks, reduce the cost of a random card in your hand by 3. This is going to be like a Shaku the Collector thing. You can give a lot of things stealth, but Opu is going to see some play. You might see Maniacal Follower in there. Shaku the Collector. But I've got a prediction coming up. Matthias Shaw, I think, is going to see some play. I mean, a 4 mana, 4/4 stealth gives mana cheat. Yeah, you'll probably see it in play. But where the big stuff comes in is later. Disguised Operator. People aren't seeing this. People aren't seeing it. 1 mana, 4/2 Rush Death Rattle can be played on either side. Your opponent draws 2 cards. Remember that Rat Burglar I talked about? So for 5 mana, you draw the next 2. You draw the 2 next opponent's cards. Yeah, for 5 mana. You drop Rat Burglar after you play Disguised Operator. And if you have both of them and a coin, you can get 4 of the next cards. You just rush those into your opponent, and they die, and then you draw the cards. With Rat Burglar, because they get drawn to the opponent's hand, and when you end your turn, you steal those cards. Nobody sees the vision. Rat Burglar is going to get played a lot with this, a lot. Or they're just going to play it on the other side, on the enemy side, and they're just going to kill it. Spell Rogue is also going to be a thing. You'll see why. Tricks of the Trade. Deal 1 damage. If a stealth minion attacks while holding this, deal 3 instead. Wait a minute. Isn't there a 3 mana card with stealth and spell power? And then you never attack with them until you want to burn people down, and then you play the 2 kobolds that cost nothing, and you're playing a 1 mana do 3 damage. Oh wait, because you have 2 spell power of the stealth minions, that's a 1 mana do 5, and because you have 2 kobolds, that's a 1 mana deal 7. And if you have Archmage Thalanos, it's a 1 mana deal 8. Times 2, that's 16. Plus Shadows, that's 24. Then all you need is a couple of rocks from Rock Skipper and the game's over. Burn Rogue. Watch for it. Trust me. Watch for it. That card is most likely going to get nerfed to 2 mana, by the way. People are rating it low, but it's going to be a good card. You watch. Silent Strike. Give a minion 3 attack. If it's stealth, it deals attack damage to a random enemy minion. That's kind of poo. It's 2 mana card, so it does kind of play into the monkey, but it's still kind of poo. You're giving a minion 3 attack. If it's stealthed, deal its attack damage to a random enemy minion. I guess it's great if you're going to play it on, like, the 4 mana Death Rattle Summon Sinestra, or Herald Sinestra. Play it on that one. Yeah, it's a 7/1. Swings in on 1, kills 2, because it kills and you get the Sinestro value. You might see this card might see some play. It's kind of poo otherwise, but with the Sinestro package, you might want to weave it in there. Follow the footsteps. Discover a stealth minion. Give it this effect for a turn. You pay 1. You discover a stealth minion. You could discover the 3-mana spell one. There you go. SI7 Slayer. Stealth. Whenever a friendly stealth minion attacks, give it 2/2. It's a 3-mana 1/2. It's kind of weak. This needs to be a 2-mana 1/2 or a 1-mana 1/2. Give it 1/1. It's 3 mana. You're already behind on tempo. It's not really going to pick up pace. Yeah, you can run a stealth rogue deck, which seems kind of cool, but we'll see how effective if it's attacking, it gets a bonus. The other one with the other spell one there, that this 1 damage spell that turns into a 3 damage spell, that's going to create Burn Rogue. You're going to see Eventuality, you're going to see Burn Rogue, that's going to happen. And if nobody else does it, this guy's doing it. I've already had a Burn Rogue before. I'll do it again. I'll even throw in the one with a Dark Gift, so that way I can get Cinder Sword for even more damage. SI7 Supplier, Stealth. After this attacks, draw a card. 2 mana, 1/3. It attacks, draw a card. How many attacks are you really going to get? You're going to get 1. You might get 2, because you could play this into the SI7 Slayer, and then it becomes a 3/5. And if they don't answer it as a 3/5, they have to answer it before that, because then a 5/7, 7/9, so on and so forth. You might get 2 attacks with it, most likely 1. Godfather Kazakus. Now, this is where I think people are going to do some seriously fun shenanigans with Warlock. This is going to create a very fun day for Warlock. You get to choose a trial. And then you get to choose the trial's length. So you plot a custom sham trial. Let's start with the sham trials. Detain for destruction. Force each minion to attack another minion. Yogg-Saron. Take control of a random enemy minion. MC Tech. Steal 2 cards from your opponent's hand. Thief's Treasures. The Thief one from Dungeon Run. Create a contraband. Draw 3 cards. So it's basically Atlas. Spurious Shiv, give minions in your hand in battlefield 3/3, so it's the Symphony of Sins. Criminal Contract, summon 3 random 3-cost minions. Flashback, but worse. Potion of Perjury, reduce the cost of minions in your hand by 2. Wasn't that one of the Sargeras options? No, that was also a Symphony, wasn't it? I think that was one of the movements in the Symphony of Sins. Swill of Suggestibility, restore 12 health to your hero. This is quite literally just Rotten Apple, but without the downside. And summon a Void Lord, so Skullaminari. Then you have Unending Trial. Trial finishes in 4 turns. And the problem with this is, what's the board state going to look like in 4 turns that this is going to be applicable? See what I mean? Grueling Trial, your finish is at the start of your next turn, which means you can kind of set your board state and kind of entrap your opponent to not play around it. Or Everyone's Choice, Rush Trial, the trial finishes immediately. So this is going to be a 3 mana, get a card in your hand that quite literally alters the game on turn 7. In ways you wouldn't imagine, because gaining 12 health on turn 7 is going to be a massive tempo swing. Reducing costs in your hand is a tempo swing. Board clearing with this one is a tempo swing, especially if you have no board and you just drop this on 7. You're literally just giving the middle finger to your opponent while smiling. The drawing of the card is bleh. I mean, most people are probably going to go with, they'll probably go with the draw 3 cards, especially if they have Godfrey, because then they have Kazakus Godfrey, and then they don't overdraw. And they're probably also going to do the reduced cost, because then this is just mana cheat for Warlock, which mana cheat's always good. It's a great card. 3 mana, 3/3 Battlecry. If you can somehow manage... Wait a minute. Discover a Battlecry minion. You could potentially double up this Battlecry with Xavius or If you can somehow discover it on Z Shaman, you could get the double battle cry there. You can wait till turn 10, do Deos, get a double battle cry there. There's options. It's going to be a fun card for sure. Godfather Kazakus is going to be a fun card. It's going to be powerful. I mean, this is not like it's going to be some sort of, weak card. It's going to be a very strong card. It's going to almost make its way into every single Warlock deck because it's legitimately just a value generator. Cabal Mastermind. 5 mana, 5/5 taunt battlecry. Whenever you summon an imp formant this game, give it 2/2. Imp formants, they go to your opponent. Follow the evidence. 1 mana. Put a 3/3 imp formant into the enemy deck. Give a playable card in your hand this effect for a turn. Frame Job. Destroy 2 random enemy minions. Discover a minion to put in the enemy deck to the top. Harsh Sentence. Enemy minions cost 2 more next turn. Put 2 3/3 imp formants into the enemy deck. Corrupt Constable. This is the one where you want to put the imp formants into the deck, and then you play the Corrupt Constable. Because if the enemy deck has any imp formants, move one to the top and give it 2/2. With this one as well. Cabal Conspirator. Put 2 3/3 imp formants into the enemy deck. They summon for you when drawn. So you're going to want to play this, with this, and this. That's it. No, they're not going to play any of the other informant ones. This one you might see in like a deck just to slow things down, but you don't want to be giving the enemy 3/3 lifesteals. Not a good idea. And like Frame Job, this is just going to get spotted. I mean, this is just going to get spotted in every deck. It is a 5 mana, destroy 2 enemy minions, discover a minion in the enemy deck to put it on top. Yeah, you only get to see 3 minions in the enemy deck, but you can screw over your opponent by putting a cheap dead draw to the top of their deck or putting an expensive draw to the top of their deck that they can't play. Yeah, it's deck stacking, but you get to destroy 2 random enemy minions. Yeah, it's random, but you can't really hate it. It's control. It's viable control for Warlock. Captain Crowley, your cannoneers fire an additional shot. Battlecry, summon 2 1/1 cannoneers. Cannoneer is a 1/1 pirate. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. Pirate Warrior is back, which makes me wonder, are you going to see the 3 mana pirate hit the board where it gives all other pirates 1/1? Because then it'll make these a 3/3 pirate that gets summoned. Makes it a little bit stickier, a little bit harder to get rid of. But then we'll see what the rest is. 2 mana, on your turn, friendly pirates deal 1 more damage, and it shows all the pirates. So this goes for every pirate no matter what you're doing. So you could do Fogsail Freebooter with some other weapons. And it'll do 3 damage instead of 2. Blast Pounder Engineer, it's good. Follow the Fuse. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy. Give a playable pirate in your hand this effect for a turn. Now, people are rating this card low, but really think about it. It is a 1 mana, deal 2. And if you're playing Pirate Warrior, not just with the set you have now, but with all the pirates in the game, it says a playable pirate. So now it minimizes it to, it's not a playable card. It's not going to ruin, board control. It's not going to ruin other cards. This is playable pirate. So it's going to minimize it to specifically a pirate that's playable. Is it going to be is it going to be a suboptimal play? Yeah, sometimes. But for the most part, this is going to be a 1 mana, get out a minion, do 4 damage. For potentially as little as 2 mana. So you do 1 mana, 2 damage, play the other 1 mana pirate, which is the 1 mana 1/2 that says gets +2 attack when you have a weapon equipped, and then blow them up. I hate to be this guy, but the whole pirate that's going to run this deck is right there. Dread Corsair and South Sea Captain are going to make this deck what it is. I really hate to be that guy, but yeah. And then, of course, when you have Sky Raider and a random pirate to your hand with all the new pirates you're getting, yeah, this is just going to be, yeah. You see what it's going. Reason it's gonna be that way, it's coming up. It's the weapon. Land ho, draw 2 cards, summon 2 1/1 Cannoneers. It's leeches. This is Leech DK, but it's Cannoneer Warrior. And cannon. After your hero attacks, your Cannoneers fire. You play your hand cannon, you play your 1 mana 3/3 taunt pirate. You basically build your Cannoneers behind it and then laugh at the enemy, per se. Discover a pirate, summon 2 1/1 Cannoneers. So you can see where it's like delay the first few turns as a warrior, blow them up with Cannoneers on like turn 6 ish. Cannon Master, battle cry. Get a 1/1 Cannoneer that deals 1 damage to a random enemy at the end of turn. Right here's your 1 mana pirate that this card will now literally do 2 damage, play him, do another 2 damage, summon a Cannoneer that does 1 damage. That is 5 damage on turn 2. 5 damage. Turn 2. And it's to a random enemy minion. And mind you, that's putting, let's see, 2 pirates on the board. So you have a 3/1 and a 1/1, and you've done 5 damage with 2 cards. But mind you, the whole skeleton key to do 10 damage to yourself to summon a 6/6 on turn 1 potentially is too strong. But this is okay. This is 5/5. Effectively 5 damage on turn 1. Straight to face. Or on turn 2. Technically turn 1, if you go second, you have a coin. Coin, light the fuse, or follow the fuse, Cannon Master, LOL. 5 damage turn 1. Aggro decks. They never really went away. Wanted poster. 2 mana, discover a minion that costs 5 or more, give it prepare. This card is disgusting. This is going to end up in Mug Shaman. This is going to end up in Rogue, because it's 2 mana, it's gonna fit in with a monkey. This is gonna end up in Spell DH. This is gonna end up in Mage, because of Discover a Minion. This is gonna end up quite literally in almost every single deck you can imagine. And it has Prepare. This is gonna be just disgusting. This card is not rated high enough. I think this card is literally going to warp the game around it, much like Vanessa did, because it says 5 or more. Yes, the pool's large for 5 or more, but imagine what you could get. And it has Prepare. So if you're playing this on turn 2, the card has Prepare. So you play it on 2, you discover your minion, you get your card, it has Prepare. You can prepare it. You could get Deos. Imagine Deos with Prepare. Put that into your head for a second. Deos with Prepare. You get Deos out early, everybody's just dead. Because now you can just battle cry everything behind it. And or death rattle everything behind it. And or end of turn everything behind it. Now imagine if you get a whole bunch of pirates out. You have Deos with Prepare. You've already prepared him. He costs 0. You play all of your Cannoneer pirates and you play Deos. And then it just goes boom. Is that Disneyland Space Mountain? 100% Disneyland Space Mountain. But you can pull it off with the Wanted poster. This card is going to be disgusting. Just so you know, this card is going to be absolutely insane. But that's it for the cards. I think people are not seeing the vision with Sinful Seed, because with the rest of the package and hold them off, this card is going to go completely bonkers. As well as Resuscitate. Now, I do want to see if Resuscitate is in Standard. So, if you will just bear with me for 2 seconds, I will get rid of the window capture. Pardon me. I was going to go into the game, but I decided to go to the card library instead. And then we will do the window capture. Why not? I went to the card library. I was planning to go into the game, but never mind. And it is for Priest. And it is standard cards. It's a 6 mana spell. Yeah, that's not gonna go bad at all. At all. Nah, no way. There's no possible way they're not going to want the Sinful Steed to come back again and again and again and again and again and again and again. That was Sinful Steed, and again. I mean, this is just, it's stupid. Like, they're not understanding. Blizzard's not grasping it. They're just not. They're not grasping what they're doing. And what they're doing is they're pretty much just saying, you know what? I think they've gotten to the end of the Hearthstone development idea bucket. I think they're looking at it going, we got nothing left, boys. Quick, think of something. And they're like, remember that priest that we just got done out of rotation that was really stupid and everybody hated playing against it? You know, the Protoss priest that was really aggressive and could win by turn 5 and was dumb in a very slow meta. Oh, and because it's priest and it can last forever and it can go into the late game, it goes into the late game and then wins with Mothership. Yeah, that priest deck, we're just going to remake the Reborn idea with Priest again, with Resuscitate still being in the pool. Remember Leech DK when it first came out and it was broken? And the devs are like, yeah, well, we're going to do that, but we're going to do it with pirates, and they're going to be called Cannoneers, and they're going to shoot cannonballs randomly at enemies. But it's going to be not as good as leeches because it's not going to give anybody any health. Wouldn't be bad if maybe it said the Cannoneer's damage gave the warrior armor, but do you really need that? No. Then we're going to make this whole warrior package centered around pirates because we used to have pirate warrior and now that's gone. And so now, yeah, that was print that. Yeah, that's great. That's great. What else? What else? We've never really tried stealth as a mechanic for rogues. It's always been there, but we've never really played with stealth being an archetype. What if we made a stealth archetype that no one really asks for or wants? Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea. Or better yet, let's take Warlock, and because Warlock right now is suffering with tempo and lack of control, and they're just now at 50%, let's take Warlock and give him a whole boatload of minions that give the enemy lifesteal minions in their deck. Like, where does this not look at, where do you not look at this as like, you're at the end of your developmental rope, Blizzard, and you're looking at it going, we can't come up with a new idea. First off, the fact that you are sitting there inhaling your own snot, thinking it's a good idea to skip Death Knight, who's at 40 something percent play rate right now, or not play rate, but 47% win rate, even with one of the decks being a playable deck. There's only one archetype for Death Knight that's actually playable that can get over a 50% win rate. You look at Death Knight and you're like, yes, 47% win rate, 44% win rate. It's down there, way down in the nether regions. I know. We're gonna bring out class sets for anything but Death Knight. Look, I don't know what Death Knights did to you, Blizzard, in the last rotation. I remember Spaceship Death Knight. I remember how egregious and stupid it was. I remembered it being not very fun to play against because you had to nuke them down by turn 6 or just lose by turn 8. It wasn't a fun deck. It wasn't a very fun archetype. But that doesn't mean you have to neuter the entire class for the next whole year. Okay? Use the heads, use the space between your ears for something besides a hat rack, Blizzard. They won't, but I hope they do. Oh, and then, of course, the last thing I say before I finish this video. I made a post on the forums on how to make Irida good. I said you can make it a 4-mana 5/6 with lifesteal. Doesn't matter. But make it start in your hand and send your deck to the void. The problem's not the fatigue because you can stall fatigue by shuffling cards in. You're getting the draw advantage. There's other tools to gain life with Demon Hunter. You've got I-Beam, you've got Aldrachi Warblades, you've got the Axis Cenarius, and once you start getting the portals, you can start shuffling them back in and you get Roxagar. You can make a very, not really aggressive deck, but more of like a mid-range tempo deck for Demon Hunter if Irida only started in your hand as a 4-mana 5/6. And I was told by people, no. She needs Rush. 4-mana 7/7 is great. She needs Rush. And I said, the Rush is not the point. The lifesteal and the fatigue is never the issue. Because you never get her in hand. I've played well over 20 games with Irida, and I've had her in hand maybe once. By turn 4. And even then, she just gets controlled. Just look at the plethora of 4-mana control spells. So it's not the factor of her not being able to be played. The reason why she's not played is because she doesn't show up in your hand. If she started in your hand, that would be the rule breaker, because what creature starts in your hand? None of them do. Quests start in your hand. Creatures do not. They've never always started in your hand. No creature says always starts in your hand. Not that I remember. So having that would be great, because you could just be like, oh, well, there you go. Starts in your hand. But you think, okay, a 4-mana 5/6. That's not all that impressive. True, it's not. It's 4 mana, it gets your deck, sends it to the void. But on turn 4, you play her, and you would be guaranteed to play her because it's in your hand. So now it puts you on the clock and says, okay, you have to have a follow-up. You have to have a follow-up to it. Whether it's having Inner Sight to draw cards before you drop her on turn 4 to fill your hand, or you have something that you can drop and then kill it on turn 5 so that you can then shuffle it in there. So if you have a portal to Argus, don't play it. Don't play it on turn 1. You play it on 4, or you play it on 5 and kill it. Sends it to your deck. So now you know what you're drawing on 6. This prevents you from taking fatigue, or you taking less fatigue. So this is what I'm saying is they need to make it so that she is not a bad Baron Geddon. And that's what she currently is. And I was told by other players, oh, she's perfectly fine. No, she's not. Nobody's using her. Nobody plays her. And it's because it's not a consistent draw. If it was a consistent draw, then you could talk about why the card's bad and why it's not living up to its potential. But it's not living up to its potential now because you can't get it in your hand. It's no different than Millhouse. Let's say you get Millhouse in your hand by 5. You play Millhouse. Okay, cool. It's underwhelming. Unless you have the spells and the survivability to back it up and high roll your brain out, nobody's running Millhouse. He's trash. It's like Aya. Aya sounds great, right? Battlecry, get 3 coins now. Nobody's playing Aya. Going second is just setting you up for 10% loss, 10% increased chance to lose. Nobody wants to play Aya because it's trash. It's just like Slice and Dice. Nobody's playing Slice and Dice. Though the Burn Rogue idea I have will play Slice and Dice, because you could just crack off that entire thing on turn 5 and then laugh at your opponent. Not on 5, but you know what I'm saying. You could crack off this entire combo in no time. Turn 7 or so, you have a whole bunch of other stealth creatures that just kind of fight for board, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden you just like drop a couple of spell. You don't even need the stealth spell guys, but if you have them, you can swing with one of them. Play a stealth minion the turn before, then swing with it. Now you have 3 damage on the one thing. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. You're gonna see it. Because it's got that ability to do it. And when it does, and you start seeing Spell Rogue cracking off, and you start seeing a Burn Rogue build, people are going to be like, wait a minute, Slice and Dice is cracked. And it will be. But it needs support cards. That's the only reason it's no good, is no support. It's the same reason why Godfrey wasn't good until they started buffing the support cards. Once they started buffing the support cards, Godfrey was great. Azalina was okay after they buffed it to give 40 life. Azalina was trash before that. Beatrix was perfectly fine. Hogger's perfectly fine. He's there for utility. He's there to give you double the legendaries. And he does that just by existing. So it's like, 10. I basically wrote in the post 10 out of 10 idea, 3 out of 10 execution. Blizzard, purveyors of finely distilled mediocrity for the past 20 years. Nevertheless, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I know I did. Some of these decks are going to be absolutely stupid. You're going to see a lot of Quest Priest in the after the mini set drops. But as always, I hope everybody has a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, and have a good one.